What's going on, guys? Today we have a very special video today. Today we are building my new workhorse / gaming PC, and there's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this. I've been a Mac user since 2013 pretty exclusively, minus the past 6 months where I've been using this ThinkPad, which we've also done a review on the channel. This has really been my only Windows machine that I've used extensively within the last, 7-8 years, whatever it's been, since pretty much my original 2013 Ivy Bridge PC build. But there's a multitude of reasons why I'm deciding to do this, and you guys have just seen the Mac Pro prepping for putting that for sale, and that Mac Pro has actually already sold. If anyone's curious, I got $800 for it, which I pretty much broke even on that machine after about 1.5 years of use. So I wouldn't say that's too bad. But today we do have the brand new PC 2021 build for you today. Let's get into the video. I'm gonna go into voiceover mode now because I just got back from a work outing and my voice is pretty shot. Actually, you can't tell. I can tell it's about to go out. And yeah, let's get into it. We'll go over each part individually as it comes up. Stay tuned.
Alright guys, so kicking off the PC build, here are all of the parts. I'm not going to go through each one as we don't have too much time, but yeah, stay tuned. We'll go into it in a little bit more detail here in just a moment. But this is our parts list. The case, I went with the Meshify Mini case from Fractal Design. We've got some Noctua fans, and basically those are the NFP 14S, and I already got them pre-fitted before the video started. Anyway, this Asus motherboard, you'll see later in the video, this motherboard didn't actually end up working out. I have tried to get the Gigabyte motherboard that I wanted, and it was delayed several times. And this one I ended up having to send back. It did look a bit nicer than the Gigabyte board with the black PCB, and it has RGB lights on it as well. Unfortunately, that one didn't end up working out. At this point, we are prepping the case with the standoffs. As you can see, I've got the Noctua fans up top, dropping in the motherboard already assembled with the CPU, which is the Core i9-10850K and our 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro memory. Here I'm just giving you a rundown about how it's looking so far. We actually have the Cable Mods white extensions as well, and the power supply that we're using is the Seasonic Focus PX850. That's an 80 plus platinum and it's fully modular. Usually I would have gone with Corsair since I'm a bit of a Corsair fanboy, but this one was about 150 or 160 bucks at Best Buy. And so that was just too good of a deal to pass up for a platinum fully modular power supply, and I've been pretty happy with it so far. I've always enjoyed the kind of minimalist look of the Seasonic products as well. So this is actually my first product from them, and it's been working out quite well so far. Next, we have the CPU cooler. Now, this is actually a pretty cool one. This is the Corsair H115i Pro XT. So it's pretty much the best of the, double. I believe that's 280 mil. So you've got two 140 mil fans that go on there. We're going to be running this in a push configuration for the moment because we don't ever have that much room in this case actually. In this video we begin to install the water block, and I'm using that Arctic Silver compound there. Unfortunately, I didn't save the part, but those screws you see down on the table that lock on the water block are really fragile. I didn't know this, and one of them actually snapped. So what I had to do was go to Best Buy and buy another Corsair, CPU cooler, and then just use one of the screws out of that for replacing the one that I broke.
Alright guys, so we are back. Finally, it's been about a week and a half since the last clip when I sent the motherboard back. I don't know what I mentioned in the last clip, but basically we have our replacement here. And so the other one was the Asus motherboard, and it was hopefully, I diagnosed it correctly that it was DOA. Hopefully we're not dealing with a power supply issue, because if this doesn't work, that's what I'm going to next. But this is the motherboard that I originally wanted. That was first canceled, and the second one was lost in shipping according to Amazon. This one I actually bought used. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with going used when you're building your own PC, or a sensitive computer part like this where there's some underlying thing that could be wrong and there's no way of knowing. But basically this was on bid on eBay. It looked really good, and I put in a max bid of like 150 or something like that, and I ended up getting it because these retail for about 180 brand new, but it is very, very difficult to find them. If you do find one of these brand new somewhere, they're usually over $300, and that's just not worth it to me at that point. I'd be looking at other options. But I am a Gigabyte fanboy. This is the original motherboard that I wanted to do for this build, so I'm really, really hoping this is going to work out, because I've been stuck actually using the 2009 Mac Mini for about the past 2 weeks, and it's really just horrible at most things, and I'm really ready to get this computer going. So without further ado, we're going to record a couple things. I'm probably going to time-lapse the rest of this because the video's dragging out. I'm really tired. I just got back from work, and I want to get this build done so you guys can see it and I can move on with getting my computer up and running finally. So, alright guys, well, let's get into this one.
So we're back to the point where I have gotten the new motherboard in, and it's actually been like a month since all the parts arrived. It's just been so difficult to source parts, and I've had issues with that, Asus board being DOA. So this is actually that used board that I got from eBay. It ended up working out perfectly fine. Doesn't look as good as the Asus one, but I'm a bit of a Gigabyte fanboy for the motherboard, so that's why I ended up going for this one. And it's still pretty hard to find. They're all out of stock everywhere. But yeah, we got that one working.
Okay, I know somebody's gonna freak out that I don't have any fans or CPU cooler connected, but I honestly, if we get a boot in 10 seconds, then we'll shut it off, finish. But I just want to make sure this works at all. And yeah, you're not actually going crazy, because I actually moved the cinema display to the other desk, and I had gotten this Dell monitor on eBay for about $230. So that is a different monitor than last time. You're not going crazy. So anyway, that just turned off. So we want to turn this back on. Let's see if we get anything. We have lights. And we've got this. So I'm gonna make sure that's okay, and then we will finish assembly. As you can see, we are running at a horrible 720p resolution here with the internal graphics at the moment. But, you know, we're showing everything that we need to show on here. So, I guess our next step is to shut down and install the GPU and cable manage the build and completely finish out the PC and boot back into Windows and install the graphics drivers and update Windows, stuff like that, and complete out the video. So far, I'm really happy. It really does, you know, I don't know what kind of analogy you want to use here, but it really just goes to show you that ASUS boards are known for being DOA. I was very susceptible to ordering that board back when I did my first PC. It was pretty much Gigabyte or ASUS. I know there was MSI, I know there was ASRock, but they were not as prevalent as Gigabyte or ASUS. So that's why I had gone with that ASUS motherboard, and it was DOA. And this used Gigabyte board has been working flawlessly so far. And basically, we're gonna go back into time-lapse mode and finish out the build.
Here I'm getting towards the end of the build. We verified it is going to boot and work for us. So we're beginning to do our cable management here. And this case was actually a lot easier to work in than I originally thought. Being such a mini case, I thought all of my cables were going to be crammed in front of the power supply and be exposed. As you can see, I had to remove that piece that pops out down where the front is with the radiator. I would have preferred to see Fractal make a sliding design to where you can, you know, slide it to fit if you're using a large radiator. But in this case, I had to remove it entirely, and our cable management's cleaning up quite well with the extensions, and it's turning out to be a pretty clean build so far.
Alright, as you can see, the cables are looking pretty good right now, actually. Turned out really good. Well, we just gotta clip some of these. I actually originally wasn't gonna use these and just use these ties, but as you can see, it's just kind of hard to get the Velcro to go all the way around. So I just ended up using the zip ties anyway.
And here I'm actually correcting the fins just a little bit. Unfortunately, through all of the in and out and rebuilding of this computer, we have managed to damage a couple of radiator fins, which kind of upsets me, but the final step here is to install the 980 Ti EVGA. It's the hybrid water-cooled. So this is making pretty much like an all water-cooled PC build. And we had to do the same thing in the back. You see the fan is completely loose, and we have to run screws all the way from the back of the case through the fan and then through the radiator to get this thing to go on. And actually I only put 3 in because I could not keep that fan aligned. So one is actually in the fan and the cooler only, and then 3 are holding it to the case. And our final step here is to connect those pins up to our GPU. And the reason I am going with the 980 Ti, which is like a 5-year-old GPU now, is unfortunately because of Bitcoin mining. All of the GPUs, I'm sure you guys know, are completely sold out and going for about triple to 4 times the amount of their retail value. So I am not going to dish out that kind of money for something whenever I know that this GPU can get me going perfectly fine for at least the next 1 to 2 years before prices start getting back to normal, hopefully, or else I'll be having to dish out some money eventually. But yeah, we're throwing on our tinted window and we're ready to set this thing up.
Alright, let's boot up again and hope we are good to go. Wow, that water pump was making a bad noise. But that booted up in about 2 seconds. Okay, good. You guys saw that. That was pretty insane right there. Now my mouse isn't wanting to work. I don't know why. But, yeah. I don't know what else I'm going to show about this build. Here's a look at how it is right now. So, we'll be back with something for you.
Alright guys, so we're pretty much going to end that video there. Unfortunately, I had lost my outro clip for this video, since this video was actually originally recorded about 2 months ago. So some of the files for some reason have gotten lost through transferring all of the footage off my phone. But I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. When I went to wonder, both have to wonder.